Hey guys, welcome back to Erenshor Guides. With the release of raids right around the corner, there is no better time than to make guides on how to unlock these raids. This is going to definitely be multiple videos. We are covering how to unlock 4 different raids, so there's just no way around it. And since this is such a long process and this is true endgame content, I'm not going to be really holding your hand throughout. We are just going to be blasting step by step on the process of doing this. Otherwise, these videos would be like 4 hours long. There's also going to be like small items you'll have to get. I'll mention what they are, but I might not mention exactly where to go get them. A lot of them you can either find on the auction house or you could just look up on the Wikipedia to see where you need to get it. So take note that this guide is not set up by level range. It is set up by, it's really organized by like zones and by the raids you unlock in a row. You have to unlock dungeons to unlock new dungeons to unlock a final dungeon. And because of that, we can't really go chronological with levels. So you can definitely start this, like I think this video, you can start around level 28, but you will hit a brick wall, and that brick wall's fine. Like, just keep playing the game, come back to the guide when you can, proceed a little bit further, but just understand that like this is unlocking the end game content and you have to be end game ready in order to do that content. So which means max level, which means possibly some ascensions and like the best gear that you can get. You don't have to like have, purple items for everything, but like you need some good stuff. So let's stop rambling on. We'll get into the video, and like I said, we're gonna go fast. So try to keep up. But before we do, thank you for watching. I really hope these help. All right, first thing, we're gonna head to that Braxonian desert. Turn around, run straight east from the waypoint, and we're gonna go all the way to the ocean. There is a little town at the edge of this. We need to kill Ulfa, priest of Brax. He drops the Tempest Stone, and he's not 100% spawn, so if he's not standing right here, just reload the zone until you do get him. Once you get the Tempest Stone, go back to Port Azur. When you're at Port Azur, we need to go out the front entrance. Go all the way through the city and go out the front. On the right-hand side as you leave the city, there's a hill. Go up there. There's a dude we need to talk to named Orion. Give him the Tempest Stone, and he will give you an unsocketed ring. Then we need to go back to the desert. We need to look for rocks out here to mine, and we are looking for a chunk of citrine sand silver. This is a pretty common thing you can find out here. Just look for the rocks around the edges of the zone, and you should be able to get it fairly quick. Once you have that, take that and the unsocketed ring, go back to Port Azur. We're going to go to the jeweler. She is in the market versus NPC on the left. You're going to trade with the jeweler and buy an Elderstone shard from her, and then you're going to trade the Elderstone shard, the ring, and the chunk of silver, and she's going to give you Tempestala, Ring of the Storms. Go back to the Braxonian desert. Go straight north up this large stone ramp, and then put the wall on your left and follow it. Just keep following around. You'll find the boss of the zone. Wait for your party, then go attack. So the trick with this boss is that you have to have this ring equipped in order to do any damage. Not only equipped, but you have to use the item slot. We can see here that I am very confused on what to do because it's been a while since I've done this. No, it's not in your settings. So you have to equip the ring, and then either right click on the ring while it's equipped, or you can put it on your hotbar, and then you can cast a skill. Now we cast a skill, now we're doing all sorts of damage. It's going much better. Once she's dead, go ahead and loot her. She's going to have a bra shell on her and the key for certain. You can go and open the dungeon right away, but before you go in there and exploring, I recommend you take the teleport back to the desert. Once you're there, turn to the left, go straight. There should be a big dead tree in front of you. To the right of that, there's a little encampment. Give the bra shell to Braxon Eldon, and he will give you the Rune of the Winds, another teleport. Back to the dungeon. All right, we are now in Fallen Braxonia. This is a very good dungeon. So it's split into 2 halves. Right here we can see there's a downstairs, or you could continue on the first floor. The downstairs is where we're going to go for this portion of the unlock. What you want to do is go down the steps, turn to the right, and start clearing mobs. First boss is going to be through this door and down the hall. There's a lot of really good drops in this area, a lot of really good drops for your tank and melee plate users. At the end of the hall, there's a chance to get the historian. If he's not there, you can just teleport out and teleport back in, rather than waiting for him to respawn. Once he does, clear him up, and we are going to get the pupil's pin from him. This is going to be very important much later. Also, most of the bosses down here drop some lore. I suggest holding on to it. Some of it's actually worth, it's for a quest later on. Once he's dead, turn around and go back to the way you came. Go back to the steps, and we're going to continue to the left of the steps. We're going to go through this door and go down to this weird little model village, underground village thing. There's a ton of enemies down here, and they like to group up, but they're not terribly strong. We do need some random drops from them. It's the spark of the first flame and the droplet of the first frost. The random drop off of these guys, if you don't get them on your first pass through here, you'll want to come back and farm them. These spark and droplets can also drop off the higher guards, but there's just more of these dudes down here. So we just want to continue to the northeast. It's the same direction that we came in at. This is a little bit of a maze, and there's a lot of monsters in here. And honestly, it's a really good leveling area. But just continue on through until you get out. You'll find the high guards again. You want to keep killing them. Then put your right hand on the wall and follow it. There's a path to the left. We're going to skip that for now. Once you get to this clearing, there are two portal guards. Portal guard of ice and fire. Each one of them drops a portal shard. We need them both. These guys really are a tank check. I mean, most of the mobs down here are a tank check. They're a gear check for your tank. And just, if you can't do it yet, come back later, but you need both pieces. Turn back around, and this time hang a right. We're going to go kill the last boss of Fallen Braxonia. These monsters down here are tough. I'll be honest. You can kind of sneak around some of them. The one that there's 4 of them in a row. If you hang to the far right, you'll only pull 2 of them, which is kind of nice. But you see at the end there, we have the statue of Brax. This guy is tough. He's gonna wallop your tank if you're not overly geared. What he drops is the Braxonian ore. It's the only place to get this, and we have to get it. I think we only need 1. I could be wrong, but I think we only need 1. But he drops really good gear as well, so like he's worth farming. Once he's dead, take a look at the checklist on screen. Make sure you have all of these items. When you do, we can get out of here. Once you're all done, teleport out of here. Go back through the Braxonian teleport one last time and go back to the Elder. You're going to give him both of the portal shards, and he's going to give you the Inert Rune of Brax. This is the first raid item. It's not active yet, but this is the first of 4 that we're going to get. Next, we got to go to Fernala's Revival Plane. Quickest way to go is through Hidden Hills, then go to Fairy Break, take a left in Fairy's Break, and then we're in the Revival Plains. From the entrance, run straight north. Follow the road all the way to the northern corner to where it starts hooking around to the right. And there are some Highwayman Raiders up here. We need to kill them. There's a random drop off of them that we're looking for. It's called the Ornate Toolbox. You might get it on the first kill. You might get it on the 20th kill. It's not too rare, but we'll just speed it up here. Alright, now that I have it, I'm going to go back towards the entrance that I came in from. So we're going to go all the way south, southwest. Right before the exit of the zone, though, we're going to go to the left, follow the rock, or follow the mountain, and there's a little house. Give the toolbox to the hermit, and he's going to give you what looks like a lore item, but it's actually a quest item. So we need to go back to Port Azur. Once you're in the reliquary, go straight through, and we're going to go to the market, and we're looking for Chaz Pilot. Give Chaz Pilot the note from a hermit, and he is going to give us a mold for a strange figurine. All right, we have a bit of a shopping list that we have to do, but the hardest thing on there is probably the ancient coal. What we can do is go to the Elderstone mines, go all the way to the south of it, and kill the big jelly Gloopa. He separates into like 4 small enemies, and each one of those can drop the ancient coal. So it's really not that hard to get. If you don't get it once, you should get it on your on the second pull. All right, once you have your ancient coal, there's a few more things we need to get. We need another Elderstone shard, which you should know how to get. That's from the jeweler in Port Azur. We need a wolf's meat, which can drop from wolves just about anywhere, hidden hills, for instance. And we need a pristine grass spider carapace. That can drop from mature grass spiders in like Fernalda Plain, and they're all over the place. So these items could also possibly be gotten on the auction house. Take a look. There's a lot of items later on that's going to be similar. You could either farm them or just check the auction house. Might get lucky. All right, once you have everything, we can head towards the Dusk and Light Coast. We do the first portal. So bring all these items with you. The quickest way to go is through hidden hills and go to the south. There's an exit there to the Dusk and Light Coast. Follow the road, and on the left there is a brazier. Give all the items we are bringing to him. Click OK, and now we can go through the portal. This first portal is very straightforward. Effectively, you're just going to go to the middle here, and monsters are going to spawn and come and try to kill you. You're going to kill them first. What we're looking for in here is Remnants of a Nightmare and Remnants of a Daydream. We actually need 2 of each. They're a random drop off of these small monsters, but there's a boss at the end. The boss will come to you that has a higher chance of dropping these. If you don't get it in this first run, just run out the portal and run back through. Everything will respawn and the dungeon will happen again. Once you get 2 of each of these remnants, you are good to move on. All right, for the next portal, the new item we need is a bag of fairy dust. You can either find this on the auction house, or you can farm it from the Fairies Break. There's fairies in there, or you can go to the Ripper's Keep portal, and around the lake there's fairies you can get it from. You also need 1 more ancient coal, and you also need 1 Remnants of Daydream and Remnants of a Nightmare. We need to go to Fernalda's Revival Plains and hook a left after the first like Stonehenge. I got kind of lost in this clip and went back, and there's a little cave tucked in that has the next portal. Give it those 4 items, and then you can go into the portal. All right, so this portal has a little bit more going on. Just keep clearing mobs as you walk down the pathway. At the end of the pathway, there's going to be a malignant thought. You need to kill that. That thing is spawning enemies. And then you have the boss. The boss at some point will start spawning the malignant thoughts, which will spawn more enemies. You have to kill the malignant thoughts. They're just going to keep spawning enemies, and you're going to get overwhelmed. Once you kill the boss, get the Undying Phobia. That is what we need to move on. You can get out of here now. For the last portal, one thing we need is a Ghostly Giant's Blood. This is easily farmed at Vito's Watch, but that's not the only thing we need. We also need a Silver Crux, and we need a Planar Stone Shard. These are random drops, and hopefully you have some lying around, because if you don't, it might be a while before you can move on. The Silver Cruxes can be found while fishing in certain zones. You can look that up if you want. The Planar Stone Shards are just random drops. So hopefully you have these lying around. If you're at this point in the game, you should hopefully have banked some and have them. You just need 1 of each. All right, the final portal. We're going to go to Ripper's Keep. We're going to go to the lake to the west, and on the left side of the lake, you'll see the last portal. We're going to put in our Silver Crux, Ghostly Giant's Blood, Planar Stone Shard, and Unborn Phobia to open it up and go in the portal. All right, now I'm going to do something I haven't done yet, and I am not going to show you the final portal. I think this is like the coolest zone in the game, and I really don't want to spoil it. So it's pretty straightforward. There's going to be some twists and turns, but ultimately you should be able to figure out without too much trouble. The goal of what you're going to try to do at the end of this is you need to kill a boss, and the boss will have a drop that's a statue, and you need to give a statue to a deer. That's all I'm going to say. And with that reward, you're going to get the Nightmare Crystal. That was the goal of this entire trek into these portals, was this Nightmare Crystal. So that's going to finish it up for this video. Thanks for sticking around. I know it's a lot, but these raids are going to be worth it. I mean, they are the end game in Erenshor, so you kind of have to earn them. I'm not sure if there's going to be one more or two more videos at this point. I haven't finished them yet, so we'll see you on the other side. My goal is to finish these videos before raids come out. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. I got more on the way. We'll see you next time.